Hello, everyone. It's been requested that I rewatch and commentate a match I played against Shane Van Boening in 2015 at the Old Malarkeys in Tacoma. Hope you all gained some valuable insight from this analysis. I certainly will. I've watched this quite a few times, and every time I watch it, it seems like I learned something new, and I can see, it's interesting to see like the evolution of both Shane's game and my own game after watching something that's, man, it's 8 years old right now. All right, let's get to it. All right, so this
Need all the help I can get. Glad you're here, Carl.
format was a winner break, magic rack,
Everybody
9
give us
It's hard
ball,
to pass up front row seat to this match.
I
2
know, it really is.
on the back.
Well, and
This is true.
it
This
pays to know your
tournament, there's a
girlfriend.
bunch of money added,
No, Scott Chandler, I believe, actually,
and then the
didn't
week
Scott Chandler
after there was a
lose to
large bar
Danny
table
already?
tournament, so they ended up
I
drawing
thought that
some
he
pros, and
did.
Shane ended up at this tournament just to warm up,
And I think,
get some free money, but I was trying to stop him.
so I think it's Raphael. So
Anyways, I think this match was the match.
that's
The
not a
winner of
very
this match played
common
for the point.
occurrence
That's
there.
what it
Oh,
was.
he
This is
almost
A-side
scratched.
action.
But he did make a
So he makes
ball.
the ball on the break.
Shane has been
Let me
very good this weekend at just
reduce the
not
volume
allowing his opponent to shoot. I think in the last match
on that.
he didn't miss a ball. So
All right, so he shot that carom. He's just playing aggressive because it's a pretty big pocket table, so
okay.
he's probably going to go for everything that's makeable,
Looking at the bracket,
which I think is the right way to go.
still playing. Scott lost. Yep.
So he plays a little thin
Very
safety off the
common.
right side of the one,
Please do harass us.
and he overrolls it slightly and just gives me just that little bit of window
So he's left. He's
between the
actually
4 and the
playing kind
5.
of safe here, right off the bat, and just thinned that ball.
He's human.
I think he's left Sean a window between the 4 and the
So
5.
then what I do is I shoot the same shot, but not as well, and I end up scratching
Looks like
2 rails into the corner. The one got, I was trying to shoot the one, bump it to the side rail to like leave it to where there was a combo at best, and then try to hide the cue ball behind the 8.
Sean is playing another safety.
But it just goes right in there, just like everybody.
Oh, well, would have been a great safety behind this 8 ball. He didn't scratch.
So he ends up running these balls out.
Okay, he took a chance there to try and.
I don't think anything interesting happens here. I'm just going to fast forward.
Shane is back at the table. He's got 2-1 time. Okay, good. Let me think about that because he sings it.
Here we are. There's the 9. Okay.
Can I talk about last night? You don't
He's
know
up
what I'm
1-0.
Well, can I talk about him a couple of games? He was very nice to her.
He's checking the rack every time, which I think is smart because who knows who I am. I did not check his racks, but I didn't think it was going to be an issue, so whatever. It's almost a better story if they end up, you can say that you got racked by Shane Van Boening. I was sort of hoping it would happen, but no, he gave me a good rack every time. Took a bad kiss there and scratched.
That's 2 in a row there that he almost scratched.
So he's already made, that's the first mistake, 1 game.
Which is going to be a huge advantage for Sean here because he's not.
So here,
So just the fact.
I mean, this is my first opportunity to do anything offensive, so I'm trying to capitalize.
Anyway, so
Of course, the balls are not lined up real nice. So I end up opting to play position for the 5-8 combo.
Yeah, I would say so.
The 5-9 is there, but it's a little tougher, really, because the 5-8, I know it looks a little bit weird, but it was pretty much straight in, and the way that I could play it was so that I could shoot the 5 into the 8. The 5 would go to the side of the to the rail, and then I could use the cue ball to float past the 6 to the side rail as well. So I'm just playing the cue ball to the middle of the table on this 2. Probably shoot in the side, I think, and then play that angle that I'm looking at right there, and just try to control everything nice. So I have so I have a shot on the 5 ultimately. So that's the plan.
I can't see because he's in my way. Sean, get out of the way. It doesn't look like it goes past the 8, so he's.
So far, so good.
And come down behind and shoot it up. Either that or he's going to.
So it looks like maybe it does go.
Where he's shooting the combo. He's just lining up. Let's see what he's going to do here. Yep, nice shots. Nice shot, Sean.
Great shot.
Yeah, that worked out nice. You gotta be happy about that against Shade. I certainly was.
Yeah, Sean's been playing very good lately. He won the tournament in Spokane last weekend.
Yeah, and on this table,
yeah, he's playing very good. You know,
the pockets are not super deep, so if you put maybe 2-3 balls in there and you shoot one hard into it, something like even that pace, potentially they could kick back out. So I'm always very conscious of that on these drop pocket tables. But partly it keeps you where if you're not seeing that, that means you've lost your head. You should recognize something like that. That's not like it's common these days with the bark. You know, they have the ball returns, but it was sort of a normal thing. So if you start losing your head and you can't remember that,
there was no spot.
you know, that's an emotional thing. So
straight up
1-1. All right.
You got to run out, otherwise you lose $20. That was the game last night. Nice.
Breaking solid, got a kiss just like him, but this came out a little bit nicer. I ended up having this 2-7 combo.
He's got nice open.
So what I'm hoping here is that I can just roll it in. You really just got to trust the table, because what I got to do is roll in the 2-7 combo and hope that the 2 doesn't go too far, because I need to shoot the 2 into that same side pocket.
Yep.
So I'm hitting it soft, and I'm hitting the 7 as fully as I can, so that the 2 doesn't continue to slide past the side.
In the side pocket.
And that's really the only shot. I could shoot the 2 into the corner, but then I'd have to play into the rail, maybe interfere with the 6 to get that shot on the 4. And then who knows, maybe it's a little bit tricky to get back for the 5. So I elect for this shot, which I think is normal. It's not that tough of a shot. The side pockets on this table are pretty huge, really, which makes it even easier to make this ball, so you kind of have to shoot at it.
And if he shoots it down in the corner, it's making sure he has good shape between the 5 and the 6. So good shot. See, perfect spot.
And this is fine. I think I was hoping that I could just draw straight back,
and I would have,
but I'm on the wrong side of the ball, so now I'm going to play 3 rails
he had to shoot it into the
back in between the 5 and the 6, and then just hopefully I end up with a good shot, and then we'll see where we end up. Because there's the 5, it can be made even though it's like on the back side of the pocket. Like I said, it's big pockets on this table, so it can be back cut pretty easily, and the 6 is wide open. So yeah, I overrolled a little bit beyond where I wanted to be, so I like to just go and just pull, not even really pull back, but just to lose a little bit of right English to make it so the cue ball doesn't go forward. And now I'm playing 3 rails back for the 6 in the same side pocket.
Oh, you guys don't know here if you don't are on the chat room, but people are giving me.
Yeah, and you're hoping to get straight in, but if it's not, it's okay, because you can go down to the end rail, back up, straight into the 8, and then draw straight back. Or if you get a little bit of angle, you can go 1 rail. I know that looked like it was going to miss, but that was pretty much right in the hole. Draw straight back. Got to work on your Mighty X drill for that. Little weird cueing over the side pockets, which are rubber on this table. But there you go. And I like to fire him in, even against Shane. When I practice, I hit him hard on the 9, so I just kind of, that's what I do. Maybe it's low percentage, but I enjoy it, and that's why I do it.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier, and he said he struggled a little getting started, but once he got going, he was right there. So.
Well, and for those of you who watched,
maybe we're not playing 2 on the back. I don't know.
For those of you,
I don't know if it's relevant for this hitting format. It's like this table. There's multiple packages. Let me fast forward here.
real slow, like you said, and was down.
Oh, we're almost there,
quite a bit,
anyways.
like 4-1.
Anyways, after this set,
Came back and beat me.
Shane, the next match, Shane played on this table. He played Rafael Martinez and run like 6 in a row off the lag.
Look at that. One
And
ball
scratched
side
on the
again.
last
Perfect.
So yeah,
his
I
last
heard
potential
he's
break,
feeling real confident right now.
but ended up winning that
That's
game.
what
So he won
breaks.
7-0.
Sorry. You know, they wouldn't even notice if you guys wouldn't hit me, and then I have to take back the word. Jeez. You're not allowed to say TIT. You have to say point. It's a point.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think they like to just hit me. Sean has a great opportunity here to run another rack. The balls are wide open.
Yeah, not much here. The 6 and the 8 are a little weird, but it's all supposed to be manageable by the time you get to that point. You should have a plan for it.
Just right there.
So you're really just running the balls out. Looking at it a little bit. I think my plan here was to play kind of where the cue ball is at now, and then just play forward into that rail, and then back for the 7 in the same corner. But I ended up not hitting it great, but I still got there.
Batman's new nemesis. They call me the Nippler.
I think maybe the right shot would have been to use a touch it inside here and come straight up and shoot the 7 like into that other bottom corner, but short side.
This is a little touch shot here. He's got to play really good shape on this 7. Not run into that.
So just bump the 8 a little bit.
Okay, though. Ran right into the 7.
Looks like he's got a little bit of an angle, so he can just draw back and get on the 8 ball.
Yep.
So we're just going to draw this back. Not much else to do.
Shot. Nice.
Another Mighty X shot.
He's gonna draw it too, really.
High inside. I think I come up a little short. Could elect to draw here with the left, which I think is what Kimberly's talking about doing. But I found on these tables, if you draw that ball, it can draw up more often. It seems to me that with the inside, the cue ball makes the object ball turn left into that pocket and accept it more when you go forward, which is, I think, why I went forward there. I think if I was playing that shot in the other room, I would have played it with draw. So I end up blowing, but you know what? We're making them today.
Would have a shot at
All right, 3-1.
Shane.
Yep. And you know, seriously, the momentum is in his favor. He almost made that one again in the side. This time he did not make a ball.
Dry break.
But he tied up the 1 and the 6. We're going to see a safety out of Shane here. So
plays this nice little safe.
Cue ball down here behind the 9. Oh, just behind the 8, I guess. He didn't quite get there, I don't think.
No, but
Turns out you can hit it. Looks like from the view that it's impossible to hit, but I end up thinning off of it and going 2 rails out of there and almost got behind the 8, but I ended up bumping the 8. Pretty good. I hit it really thin. But on the monitor, it looks a little bit tougher than it really was. The 1 is further out into the middle of the table than it looks.
But the good news is the 1 is frozen to the 6. So, and then the 3 and the 7 are there. Oh, I guess they weren't frozen. That was a really good.
Yeah, if I would have gotten past that 8 there, that had merit to like go another rail. And hit that last rail and come back under and be blocked by the 3. And then that would have been nice. I don't know if that would have happened, then he would have to shoot a really tough shot. But he ends up.
All right.
He ends up kicking behind it.
Safe. There's lots of balls to hide behind down there with the 7 and the 3. He wants to kick at the 1 towards the 5 and stop his cue ball and slide it up behind the 7 ball.
He was trying to kick and stick, I think. Kick it past the 5, hit that side rail. But it didn't happen.
Solid, but he needed to hit a little to the right of that for the cue ball to deflect off the other way. I am am not playing in Cedar Woolley.
Not much going on here. It's tough.
Not.
You know, 3-7. It's confusing to me.
Love to come up there, you
I
guys.
spent a lot of time here, and I never really came up with a
It's
solution
fun to see everybody
as far as what I'd really like to do.
money, but
A lot of that had to do with the 8 being there, where I couldn't really play my position
it just gets over too
like I
late
wanted
for me
to.
on a work
I think
day,
maybe
so
what I ended up trying to do is I think what I was trying to do
I
is
will when
just
I can,
shoot
I
the
promise.
1 and bump the 8 and then end up right where the 8 was with the cue ball. And then if I could do that, then that would leave me like a rolling shot on the 2, cut it down, and then short side for that 3 ball. Ideally like under the 5, and then I could punch over for the 4. But see, I hit it because I think that's why I hit it so hard,
Yeah, I got a little tick off
because I was really trying to punch it right over and bump that 8 solid. So we ended up down here, which is not ideal, but there's still action. We're at the table.
No, I didn't. No, it bounced a little.
So I'm looking at rolling all the way down for the side, and I'm looking at the safety briefly at the combo, but I think the combo is too weird. Combo ends up like, looks like the 3's going to bump the 5. Who knows if it's going to come off the rail. It wasn't not that easy anyway, so I ended up trying to roll for that. I don't know if I played for the safety or the side. I think I played for the safe, but I butchered it. I ended up hitting it too full. I needed to just cut it just a little bit more, so then the cue ball went forward and bumped the 7, and then the 3 came out and sold out. It wasn't like it was terrible, but it was not good for playing against Shane.
Did I say the word again? The word that it means?
Yeah, if I would, that was one that I'd like to have back.
Jeez, I didn't get hit, so I didn't realize I had.
Yeah, so Shane just shoots this one in.
The FCC sits behind me. They monitor everything I say.
Yeah, so at this point you're thinking, oh, that's not good.
I can't hear her, but I can hear her in my ear.
He gets out.
So one of the things that's beautiful about Shane's game is his ability to make it just look easy. You know, if all of us could play the kind of easy position, you don't have to do a whole lot with your cue ball. You just. And I don't know.
All right, I'm still ahead, 3-2.
What double dip the movie butt means, but you said it twice, so I'm assuming you're trying to get me to respond. Much better break that time from Shane. I don't think he can see the whole ball though. He's got a little jump shot here.
Yeah, so he ends up
You lost me.
jumping this ball. Why not? It's straight in, really. Only jumping the edge of it.
Great shot there.
Yeah.
Cue ball didn't come down fast enough, so it ended up hitting the top of the 2. Or, excuse me, it hit the... Yeah, it just kept jumping, basically, and kept going forward. He was trying to stop it, but anyways, this is where we ended up. So he plays a nice safety.
I don't think he planned on hitting it too.
Draws that back.
Yeah, no, Sean's been playing too good for him to.
Yeah, you don't want to give up chances like that.
Not much to do here. One rail kick.
Was a great shot there.
Yes, it was.
Line it up as best you can.
This 2 ball. There is a 2.
I think I'm just hitting them all hard here because I don't know what's going on. I think maybe here the 2-5 goes. So I'm just trying to hit it full. But these ones are tough. I've always found difficulty when you're shooting away. Barely went past it.
Thank you very much.
Curse of the commentator.
Yep. Yeah, now he's going to shoot this 2 on the side, roll up for the 3.
Tic-tac-toe. It's about the weirdest shot that he ends up with, really.
Some good pool going on today.
With a little bit of turn at the end just to get a little bit closer. Nice touch.
Yeah, since he made that one mistake and didn't quite get safe on Shane, he hasn't really had a shot.
Race to 4 for all of it.
Okay, I will
This is what you're afraid of when you play Shane.
And that was a much better break than the first two.
Yeah,
But whatever, I already got
Shane
3 games, so I feel like I won.
Shane had the first.
By the way, this never got entered into Fargo, so you guys know. My Fargo would be a little bit higher if it was. This is like right before Fargo was a big deal. You overdrew it, but not really.
Well, that makes it.
See the
4-3
in
Shane.
Yeah,
this match.
yeah. As good as he was playing, Shane knows he can't give him anything.
So now, like, the commentary is more talking about how it's been a while since I had a good opportunity, and it certainly was true.
Well, let's see how he controls the cue ball this time.
Can't remember if he breaks and runs this rack. Oh, yeah, he has to roll out. That's right.
Oh, he didn't get a shot on the one ball.
So he makes the ball, gets kissed. That's why he's a little dissatisfied. He doesn't do that anymore, hardly. So he's certainly grown up. I remember when he used to do that all the time.
He's going to be pushing out or jumping.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, it looks like.
But you know what? If you want to be a pro, you got to act like a pro.
Push out two.
So he rolls out to there. I'm thinking, I don't know what to do. Are you supposed to give it back to Shane here?
What do you do here?
I think you're supposed to just shoot at it and then just see what happens. I don't know.
Well, I think.
So I ended up trying to.
I think Sean.
I think about this for a while, but I ended up
Jump this.
thinking, okay, well, if I kick at it, then I got 3 different things that could happen. And what I'm really going for is I'm trying to kick past it a little bit so I can cut it backwards, kind of like up, side to side on the table, and then let the cue ball float down over by the 2 and hopefully get hooked behind the 4 that's there. And then if I hit it different than that fully, then I'm thinking I could kick bank it and make the 7, or I could kick it into the side. Those are the 3 shots.
Give him a shot at this, but I don't know if I would with Shane.
So I think for I don't know how long, a long time.
Looks like he's gonna.
I don't know what I do here. I forget how it goes. None of it's right.
So you kick at it between the side and the 4.
That's right. I hit a little bit full. See, it was like in between the other 2 shots.
I would have tried to kick it between the side pocket and the 4, leaving.
So he just floats this down over for the 2, which is like, this is like your worst nightmare. You basically give him not ball in hand, but it's close enough.
That 7 hit on the side. I think I'd have jumped it, yeah. Jumped it and played for that 7. Carom.
Yeah.
Floats down. Boo, boo, boo. I don't even know if he got it. He was like, he wasn't even thinking about getting out of line.
So do we know how the Dan Louis Raphael match is going?
Now,
5-3.
He held the cue ball right in the center of the table and it got bumped.
They did not mark the game here.
turn that around. Schmirk.
It's 5-3 right now, Shane.
I think he moved his spot where he was breaking.
Perfect break there. Oh. Yep, he is hooked again, maybe. He might be able to see that ball. If he can see it, he can make it.
He's got a thin shot here, but it's one of those ones where
I think he's got enough.
if you don't hit it precisely, you're not going to get the reaction off the rail that you want. And I'm not even sure if he has to hit this rail first or if he can use a little bit of inside to get the cue ball to swerve and then hit it. I think that's the way he likes what he's trying to do. I don't think he's playing it rail first, but he's playing it 3 rails to shoot the 2 in the same corner with a little bit of right English.
So if he can see this ball, he has. The problem is.
It looks like he can't even hit it on the monitor.
Making sure he doesn't hook himself on the 3-5. Being able to slow it down enough. The 4 is kind of ugly.
I think he's good.
He may be coming around 3 rails to play shape on this too. Let the speed go a little bit. I've not seen him do that much, but yep, he is. Oh, he hit the.
And he got
So he kind of gets a weird reaction. I think he ultimately this is not really exactly what he wanted, but if it hadn't hit the point, it would have hit the rail, and then it would have came out probably better than this. Even though this is totally fine.
Yo, Shane.
There's a potential he could have bumped the 9, I suppose, and that would have made it worse. But this is,
fortunate enough to not.
I mean, I don't, from where he was, it seemed like this is fine.
Get close to him,
so he just stuns this over.
I
Boom.
think he's very sharkable person.
No big deal. And I like this shot too. I'm not going to fast forward. I watched this again. This is a tricky shot, but, well, it can be tricky.
Yeah, I think
Ultimately, it looks like he's using a little bit of high ball and quite a bit of right English
the ladies
to thread the needle between the 5 and 9 and then back through the 5 and 9 by reversing the spin, reversing the cue. Excuse me, I'm sorry if that's in the way, guys. The 4 is down by the side pocket.
I have complete faith in his ability to get back up to the other side of the table.
Yeah.
Just makes it easy. There's no
pretty sweet.
Do the 3 rail spin like we see out of Raphael. He does the straight up, a little bit of right.
This is what you have.
Well, maybe you just need some schizophrenia drugs.
Well, no. Thanks, Kimberly.
I'm just saying. I'm not judging. What's against the rules? Rick, what's against the rules?
Well, I think.
All right, now he's on the hill. I got 3.
Too busy talking about other things.
Maybe that was my last shot. That's what you're thinking, but whatever. We got to 3 way early, so it's all good. But at this point, if you lose from here, you're like, oh, I was up 3-1 and lost 7-1. And here we go. He scratched. Made 3 balls and scratched again.
And it's a beautiful wide.
He's not happy because he knows that actually I've been playing okay. I haven't dogged it yet. I've been screwing up, but it's mostly the kicking, the moving that he's getting me. As far as running out goes, I've ran out every time I've had a chance. Pretty sure.
Yeah, Sean controlled the table after the first one for a couple of games. We'll see how he does here.
So here, I ended up drawing, like going 1 rail and trying to draw back. Really, I think I should have just maybe played it and just used follow and gone into the other corner to get to the same spot.
He has a really
They end up coming up just like
get him going again.
2 inches short. But this is fine. Now I got to shoot this 4 ball with right English and forward instead of what I wanted to do initially was get down table a little bit further so I could punch it over, punch to that spot between the 6 and the 8. But maybe this is even a better shot, really. Because now you can use that high ball to take you above the 6 no matter what. But I was trying to get perfect because what I really want to do is get almost straight in on the 6 so I could put the 8 into that down corner, but have the cue ball where the 6 is at, basically. I want it to be almost straight in because the 8 is not frozen to the rail, but almost. So if you can get close to straight, you're looking good. So I hit that pretty nice. If you're out that far from the 8, it's tough, but if you can get straighter, it's not so tough. This table was a little bit brutal because that side of the table where I'm standing was a little bit lower, maybe an inch lower than the other side. There was a drainage slope on this at this facility or something. I don't know. It was low over there. So for the short guys, it was kind of brutal sometimes, but I made it happen. So now I just got to roll this forward. This is a good spot to be in.
Well, 6-4.
All right. Making a game of it. 6-4, he's ahead. Excuse me.
That extension on that is really cool. That's kind of a new thing in the last year and a half or so, couple years, and looks like a good break. He's gonna have a shot on the one. He's got a little
Man,
5-8
I missed that break cue.
going on. The 4 to the 5 is gonna be interesting here.
Maybe it was just because I was playing a lot more. That's why I was breaking good.
Yeah, Suzanne, you're right. He does need to, and I think he's going to. I think he's.
There's a little bit of angle here,
Just
but with all this traffic, I didn't see the merit in trying to draw back
feel his
and get above the 2 to shoot the 2-6. So I elect to just
centered.
really put a big stroke on this ball and try to draw back all the way to the short side
Yeah, I think
on
he's
the
been
2,
working on that for a couple
all the way
years
down past the 9
now,
into
so
that
it's
other corner.
showing in
With
his
the thought
numbers.
being, if I don't get there, which didn't seem likely because it was tough, there was a lot of, that was pretty far to go, then I would play some sort of a safety, and that's what I ended up doing.
So this is a tight little shot here because of where the 4 is. He needs
Because
to.
it was a little bit straighter in than you think. So when I put this inside
Got
on
a
it,
lot of spin on that.
He did
the
a little
spin to
too.
try to take me there all the way, but it didn't quite get
Yeah, that
there.
stroke. He didn't quite get there. He needed a little more speed on it so that it
You
hit
know,
the
and
green with some speed and came off like he was trying to do.
I'm looking at safe here. I didn't really consider cutting it all the way down.
Yeah, I don't know if you just
There's
make
really
sure
not
you
much to do
make
here.
sure
It seemed like to me that
I don't know
maybe a
that
shot would be
leaving the cue
one
ball
rail
open.
behind the 4, in between the 8 or the 9 and the 4, down towards kind of where the. That's what I was looking at, but the problem was that there just didn't seem to be any way that I could hide the cue ball if I shot that shot, and that's really what you need to do against Shane. I think is
up there to the 5-8 now.
that's what I was thinking at that time. Was like, at least I got to make him kick at the ball.
It's too flat, I think, for that.
So I like to thin off the 2
The 2 rail into
and
the 9
send the
might be
cue ball up
way
table behind the
behind
9.
in order to do that.
Yeah, he can
But
draw into the 6.
yeah, but there is a 2 railer on the 9 there. The problem is, I don't think he can stop his cue
Yeah,
ball.
because the bank in the side would have been a nice shot, but it looked like it was a double kiss.
Wide for that angle.
You know, and drawing, like shooting the 2 with draw and trying to make that 6. I don't know. To me, that's reckless,
So he's gonna play 6.
especially in this situation, because I've been holding my own, pretty well here, just playing smart. So I was just gonna stick with that.
And just try to get
Like
back to the
eventually,
9.
I might actually come up with, make a move that beats him one game, and that's what I need to do.
Good shot.
He moved good and got me on all the moving games. So I thought I hit a good shot here, but then he ends up just
If you
like
come off the
no
rail too early,
problem
he might pocket the 6.
knowing what to do. So he looks at it for a while, but he ends up kicking behind the 2 and making the 6 with the cue ball.
Great shot.
And he was playing it
Great shot.
to thin it, but he just overhit it just a little bit.
He really did. Couldn't have hit it a whole lot softer than
And
that.
this is a shot that everybody should know
The angle he had to come in at that ball, so he either got to hit
or
it
learn at least.
Yeah, I think he just wants there, make sure he's making that 6 ball.
Just play this cue ball off the 2 with a good spin, and then just play it down to the end rail.
So
And then
break
the
downs
2
too.
ball
So
will
you guys
spin
know
down
usually
towards that
where Shane
chalk
would
on
be
the,
wrap
or
kind
maybe
of
the
sitting. I'm
the
just
game counters
I
on
think
kind of on
most
his
people
side.
Shane's going to win this match. It's
It's
not
like you're banking it towards your hole here if you're playing kind of, but you're overspinning it, so it goes down way lower than the aim line. You see how it twisted just a little bit?
that shot.
That twist makes it not get to the pocket.
All right, tell me
So,
you don't want to be that guy right now.
yeah,
He hit that
that's
pretty
where the
well.
ball
So I
comes
end up
in
having to
for
kick
me.
at it 1 or 2 rails, hoping to make it.
Yeah, Sean's been hitting him really
This is the result here.
I think he hits this ball. He might make it.
Yeah, it looks to me like this is a two-railer here. He wants to hit that bottom rail.
Yeah, and then if he hits it good, he might get safe
He went
too.
in at it. He went at it straight. Look at this.
You know, and oh man, it was
Yeah,
so close
I
to
thought he
going
was
right
gonna
behind
go
the
behind
4, and
the
he was gonna
four.
have to
The
jump.
two was
That
gonna go
was
by
like,
the four.
dang.
Yeah, and Shane's in
This
both.
situation, I was like, dang, this is
They
heartbreaking.
have a super easy
I
time
wanted to hit
getting
one
over
good,
that five, and he's
one
got
good move against him, and I never did.
qualms about him making it work.
Yeah, I think he can
It
get
looks like he's out here. You think?
I think he can
Shoot
get
the
around
3,
that
come
four.
around for the
Yeah,
4.
I think so.
You think he might be able
But
to
the
do
4
it?
to the 5 is tricky, right? Everyone's like, oh, 4 to the 5. What do you do?
Yeah, Sean almost did a good,
Well, let's see what Shane does here. He doesn't.
yeah.
He almost
Yeah,
does it perfect, but he ends up just
and
getting
he
a
almost got
little
it.
bit short of his spot here. I think he plays this ball the way he wants to. It seems like there's some debate here because it was kind of funny, but I think what he's playing for is to get straight in on the 4 so he can draw straight back.
He's gonna try to move that five.
Well, the reason that I don't think he's
Yeah,
going to is because it goes.
yeah.
So,
So he ends up a little bit on the other side. So now when he draws it back, he has to draw past the 8. And if he doesn't draw it past the 8, he's hooked.
Gonna draw
And if he
back
draws it too far, it's going to be hard.
instead of the eights. He
I mean,
goes
maybe not hard for Shane.
same side he's on, I think.
So he draws it back, and it looks like he hits it perfect, but he comes up just a little bit short.
I don't know. I don't
I
think he
think
did.
it's short.
Did not.
He does miss this ball,
He's got a cross
so
beam.
you just have to assume it. He came up
With that
short.
ball, he can't. He can't
But he
make
tries
it.
to do something with the cue ball, and that may have made it so he missed.
He's gonna have to draw it. He can make it.
I don't know if he's trying to punch it,
Drop
jump it, a little bit of spin, but he hits it like that.
He didn't even have room to draw it back for the
No,
8.
he
He
tried.
had to
So it
just
doesn't go, and I'm like, supposed to get out here, right?
play the stop shot.
So of course I don't
I
even
think he was
think.
trying to throw it just a
He
little.
was, yeah.
A little bit too far, of course, because I wasn't thinking.
Well, Sean is thankful for the
But whatever, this is totally fine. I'm just going to shoot it left-handed.
left-handed here on this 8 ball.
That's what we do, okay?
Little two-railer, and he's still in the game. The score is 6-5.
All right,
6-5. Sean's breaking.
still alive.
Sean runs out here.
Where he was headed through the corner pocket.
Boom.
Yeah, but that's 6 inches, 7 inches away from where he was playing position.
Made a ball, lost my cue ball, rolled forward.
On it.
Well, I'm sure
Man,
you're right about that.
so by now this is pretty intense, right? I mean, look at this. What do I got here?
Yeah,
And this
we
is,
only
he's
have
on the
to
hill.
being perfect.
And it's like, what can you do here? You have to absolutely have to go for it. You have no choice, right?
Or quarter.
So the whole time I'm here, I'm trying to talk myself in
Has a shot on the
to leave
rail,
myself
long ways away from
shooting out of the corner pocket for the 2 all the way down table.
and rail down
Because
here.
this shot is way harder,
He's
where
got
I shoot between the 5 and the 3.
to that 2. It looks like the 2 goes past the
You know, and it's like
and it's tight, so
cue ball's an eighth of an inch off the rail.
he's either gonna have to
However,
past the 5 or try and
I don't know. I felt like I was going to make it no matter what. I was ready to go. So here we go. Big pocket. It had no chance to miss. It was just, that was easy the way that it was. I hit it solid. Just enough pace to get to the spot.
And get back in line.
I set myself up for exactly the shot that I left myself for, which is not easy, but when you choose it, sometimes it's easier to take it on. So now I'm just hoping that the speed is right so I have an easier shot on the 3 than this one.
there are 3 other tables.
But you got to make the ball, and, you know,
pretty much everybody's just in thrall.
so let's see what happens. I think I overroll it, like it goes forward a little bit, but I make it.
But Sean's our underdog.
Yeah, the cue ball went forward a little bit, but that's fine. I'm happy with this.
Yeah, now he's got.
Now I got to just back cut it, come one rail and back, and I'm in charge again.
He's okay though. He's better.
And this shot, you know, if you're thinking yourself out of it, you might do a lot of stuff, but you just got to play the carom angle and then play just a touch of draw. So you don't want to overdraw it because then you might scratch. So a lot of people, because they don't want to overdraw it, will hit it too full, and that's why they
Can we
miss.
get a score on
What you got to do is you just got to hit it right in the hole.
You can't see it on.
A little bit of right English to check it,
Show, I think.
Oh, there was a great stroke.
just like that.
Stroke.
It's probably the best shot ever. Given the situation, I was pretty happy with those 3 shots. So here we're pretty much routine.
Right there was those 3 shots to get himself back in line.
Struggle through it as we do.
Go, Sean. Sean the underdog.
So after making all those good shots, now your goal is just like, all right, just hold it together. We got it now. We're about to go hill with Shane Van Boning.
Yes, it has.
And I got the break.
Tell you what, though, if he gets out,
You're not trying to think about all that stuff. It's one ball at a time.
I think he's gotten past all his trouble.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, and I was trying to come out a little bit more because I didn't want to end up this straight. But I was trying to play for this 2 rails back to the middle of the table. I should have took more time on that shot. I think you can see I came up a little bit short. Because all I wanted to do is get it to where I could roll forward for the 7 to shoot the 9 in the side.
To the center of the table.
But we get funny, but that happens.
I felt like this once.
But I just follow with that shot. That was a sweet shot. I was really happy about that. Because you end up with this shot on the 9. You got to be loving your life. Boom. All right.
Well, that's Hill.
Hill.
It was
at the end of that game.
Yeah. Everybody's excited here. Sean still looks very focused. He does not look nervous or confused. Okay, needs a good break here. It's paramount. 9-ball breaks do count. No, excuse me, they don't count in this tournament, right? 9-ball breaks?
Actually, I'm not sure about
it does count, but there's no 3 foul. There's no 3 foul rule. That was the difference. Okay, he's going to have a shot on the 1 ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Balls came out funny as they do. Hill.
Seem to have one during the tournament.
Once in a while,
Never came
it
up.
seems like something cool happens, but I don't know.
He's got
In my
5
life.
balls at the top.
And I could have got out here maybe, but the problem was the 7 was tough.
For sure, the 7 and the
Anyways,
8
we spent some time on this.
But he's got a shot to start off on.
Let's fast forward here.
Decision they'd have to
So I like to try to draw back for the 2 in the side. The 1 is very close to the point, or to the side, or the rail, so I didn't have to thin it in. I couldn't, it wasn't in the hole.
This is not a BC
It was out of the hole on the rail. Just a little bit.
It would have to be a competition.
So I used a little bit of low and left. And I wanted to use more than that, and really, this is fine.
Yeah.
I wanted to get straighter so I could control the angle, but now I'm a little thin.
Pretty sure I know they can't.
I just didn't hit this shot very well. I should have spent more time on this.
A BCA event. They could move him up before the next BCA event, but not the one that this isn't. So.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would come up above the 9.
All right.
But we ended up here.
The position that he wanted here. He has made his job a little harder, but not impossible.
Yeah, now I'm just like, man, you got to go for it. There's nothing else. We can make this ball. We can play safe. And if we don't make it, he still has work to do. Those balls are down there. They're not so easy.
He has, but
With the assumption being that because I'm going to hit this ball hard, that it's not going to end up in the jaws and it's going to be in a random spot. So I'm trying to use low left to draw the ball 3 rails back around. Ideally into where my cue's at, so I have this shot on the 4 in that corner shooting it past the 6. And then if I don't get there, then I'm just going to probably play a thin shot off the 4 to leave it under the 7 and the 8 and make him kick at it. That's my plan. So ultimately, I got to make this ball first, though.
We're going to see some cue ball action here for sure. I don't know. I sometimes use low.
Yeah,
That was
he
it.
was
Dang.
looking for the.
Yeah.
Every time I watch that shot, I'm like, dang, that was so
Get a
close.
little lucky.
And this is brutal too, because look, you see how it bumped the 7 down?
Play safe.
You're like, dang, not only did I miss, left him an easy safety,
He
but I
looked for
also
that
bumped the ball
he did
down
not
to where
step
now
out
everything
like that.
goes.
You know,
And I'm
he
like,
had
that's
to
not
get
good.
out of the way too for what he was doing. But Shane's gonna play safe here and try and get control of this table.
Shane's gonna try to lock him up here.
So he plays this nice safety.
Try. He's going to
He
put
didn't.
the hurt on him.
He didn't quite lock him up there.
He didn't freeze it on the.
He'll get.
I spent a long time
Get
on
a
this
bit of a
shot.
roll here.
Well, getting a hit's not gonna help him.
Well,
If he doesn't.
Yeah, you're trying your
if he
best at this
doesn't get
point. So I'm
Safe,
thinking
like I
trying to
said.
kick it
if
in
he
the
doesn't get
side.
a hand here,
Yeah.
Shane's out for sure.
It's true, but I'm just saying.
But as you've seen,
I'm just
this
saying
is the
how
third kick
important
shot that I've had. In the first two, I didn't get a hit.
It's not his only problem. It looks like he's shooting it pretty wide. Maybe going to shorten it a little. Just maybe from this angle, it looks like it's a wide. Yeah, it went too wide.
Whiff.
He went too
To
wide.
make sure he hit.
He was trying to make that.
All right, we'll watch the rest of this out. Well, he does get out here. Although it's not for sure. I mean, this is a nice out, but I'll talk about what happens. So I'm basically just chilling.
Shane's going to play shape up here.
Hill. I mean, I don't know how many people were watching this stream. Quite a few. It's gotten a lot of views since then. And of course, I'm going to post the link to the original footage. So anybody that wants to watch it with the actual commentary as it was can check it out. As Rail to Rail Productions. Yeah, he just floats down, gets this angle, and I think he just comes one rail back up table for the 6. Trying to leave himself an angle to draw underneath.
He's going to bump the 7. Maybe not.
Right, so I think what he's trying for here is like, he's like, okay, well, if I can draw below it and hit that rail and come back up, that's good. Or if I end up almost straight on it, I can just draw straight back past the 8.
I think he might have maybe wanted to go a couple more inches, then he could have drawn back into, around.
But he came up a little bit short, so now he's like in between.
He could have drawn into it, given himself a little love. I think he's got a little angle the wrong way, but he may have to just draw into the 8 and hope to get a shot here. Oh, he was able to.
That was nice. He wanted to come up a little bit further, but this is a little tricky.
Playing it in the first place, so I think he just thought he didn't quite get as far as he wanted.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if the 7 went by the 8, but I guess it must.
It's like going to bump into the 8, so I think he just bumps it on purpose, which is what you should do. Everything you should do in pool should be on purpose. Hits it good. I think he just comes one rail back.
Well, I'll tell you what. Sean is well on his way to being the same class of player that he just barely lost to.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe.
Gave Shane everything.
I think that's the toughest match Shane has had to play yet.